Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel, and in today's video I have some new gloves, but apart from that I am also featuring two very cool Liberty Walk Nissan Silvia Super Silhouette S15s, and of course they are made by MiniGT and they are model numbers 490 and 781. So 781 is a little bit more of a new release, and of course they're not just a normal Silvia. These are actually inspired by real-life builds created through a collaboration between Liberty Walk and UK-based detailing lifestyle brand called Auto Finesse. So these cars bring together Japanese tuning as well as UK street culture, all in one striking wide-bodied S15. So let's dive right in. And starting off with the first one, it is number 490, and of course this was released a few years back already, but it's definitely a classic, and to be honest the prices of this have started to go up recently as well. So the box just says Nissan LB Super Silhouette S15 Silvia by Auto Finesse. Of course that's what this video is all about. So, and just to talk about Auto Finesse a little bit, so it's not just like a normal detailing brand, it's really like a full-blown lifestyle movement based in the UK. It's really well known for these premium car care products, and they've carved out a serious presence in the modified car scene over here, and they do a lot of blending, like clean builds with this like streetwear style vibes, and they do a lot of creative collaborations. And of course their cars are super sharp, just like their waxes. And of course this Liberty Walk Silvia is no exception. So as you can see, it looks extremely striking and really beautiful with this color scheme. So these cars are pretty much built to be like concourse cars. So really well finished, and it perfectly represents Auto Finesse's motto, which is detailing is everything. And they do like these really cool wild liveries and this crazy slammed fitment. Of course that's part of Liberty Walk as well, and really always like super perfect paint finishes as well. So it's really crazy to see one of these cars. I actually saw this at Goodwood in 2022 as well, so it's really beautiful car to be able to have on our shelves as well. And as you can see visually, it's extremely striking. So straight away we've got this beautiful kind of like a mint green, like a very off-white going towards green, minty sort of color, and that's highlighted by these blue accents, as well as like a little bit of teal thrown in there as well, and a little bit of black on the sides as well. So let's actually dive into the details. So let's check out the finish, and of course typical of MiniGT, we've got a really beautiful gloss surface just on the roof. We've got this really nice interesting looking blue, and it says Auto Finesse, and of course it says the art of detailing. So there you go a little bit further down, and it says Auto Finesse as well in the banner on the window. Beautifully modeled interior, and this car of course is a right-hand drive, as it should be for the UK, and of course Japanese car. So just on the bonnet we've got this really crisp Union Jack, Auto Finesse, AirX, and of course it's number 99. So then furthermore we've got these bonnet outlets. They're not punched through or anything like that, but they have a lot of three-dimensionality. And they have these kind of blades on the side of the bonnet as well, and that's very cool and very interesting. And of course it's a Liberty Walk Super Silhouette car. So this S15 is kind of like a reimagining of the original Super Silhouette race cars of back in the day in Japan. So of course the S15 never raced in those series, but this is kind of like a modern reinterpretation of the old Super Silhouette Silvia, and that's a very awesome thing to do for Liberty Walk. So of course carrying on, we've got a really beautiful front intake here, finished off in black as well as highlighted with that little bit of blue, and we've got quite a dark looking front headlights as well. So you can see it almost looks like it's been smoked, and that's a crazy kind of look it has, but it is made of acrylic there, so you can kind of see through it a little bit. And then heading into the front bumper, which has got these three logos, LBWK, Identity, and another LBWK. And then we've got the front air inlet, and you can see it's actually got like a black intercooler in there, and it's also got some grille in the side vents as well. So very nice three-dimensionality and good 3D modeling. And then we've just got this very impressive front splitter as well. It's completely squared off. Once again, just that very typical old school super silhouette style of the car. And of course it says Nissan in the front too. Then heading to the side, we've got a few more logos and a beautiful way to split the color of the car. We've got this kind of like teal and blue like swoosh kind of running up the side of the car and actually going all the way into the rear mask as well. So it's a very cool looking finish for the car. And then of course we've got some Japanese writing, another little bit of Auto Finesse writing there as well. And we've got these beautiful blue 5-spoke wheels with this crazy polished lip, and that's very typical of these Silvias especially. And MiniGT has been using this molding for the Silvia's wheels for quite a while now. Actually, it's only of recent times that the drift variations have been using a different kind of wheels, but otherwise most of them used this 5-spoke. Of course, no brake rotors or discs or anything like that, or calipers unfortunately, but it's one of those things. And then of course we've got these huge wide body like over fenders. Of course in the real car those are three-dimensional and they stick off quite a bit. However, unfortunately in this MiniGT it's just kind of like cut off, and there's not really any three-dimensionality or like kind of tuck in that section at all. So that would have been a nice thing to see, but it's just one of those things. It isn't quite an older molding from MiniGT, so they've been reusing this mold for all the newer ones as well, and there hasn't been any changes made. So this is an old sort of feature and it's kind of stuck with us. Anyways, on the side, Auto Finesse in massive letters, looks really menacing and really clean and clear. And then of course Rotiform, Nankang, and LBWK, and you can also see that it's got a little bit of side exhaust there as well. Very good shut lines on the door as well as the door handles. And then we've got this beautiful Silvia DLO, and you can actually see that the rear view mirrors are also painted in this blue, and it's really cool that this blue is accented all the way in all these sort of details. And you can even see that it's accented on the interior roll bar as well. So very cool feature to carry through into the car. And then we've got the rear intake. So this one's actually got a little bit more three-dimensionality. You can see it's got a little bit of overhang in front of the body panel. However, it's not painted in black or anything like that. So it's just a white kind of area. But at least it's a lot more three-dimensional than the front was. Number 99. Then of course we've got this continuation of the color looking great, and then of course another little Auto Finesse logo on the C-pillar. And then we've got the rear wheels, which is pretty much just identical to the front. Furthermore, we've got the Union Jack and Identity, and then we come to this beautiful rear mask. So you can see how clean this entire style looks. So we've just got these two HJA logos, and we've got this green kind of continuing all the way across the car and giving it a lot of visual length. Actually, it kind of cuts the back of the car in half. And then we've got this blue continuing all the way from the side into the rear mask as well, and these tinted rear lights just look absolutely menacing. They are made out of separate elements, and they are three-dimensional as well. And you can see this huge amount of overhang in this rear kind of like spoiler in the back. It's just absolutely crazy, super menacing. And heading further down, we get to this colossal diffuser as well. It looks extremely menacing, and once again it's like very much squared off, once again harking back to those super silhouette cars. And then of course we jump into this crazy wing as well. It's extremely elevated, and it's, once again we've got this same square kind of delivery in terms of design going on. Of course, once again nods back to this group 5 cars that once dominated Fuji Speedway. So there it says Auto Finesse as well. And of course this car is a very nice modern take on this old school Super Silhouette series racing cars, and I really love the look of this car in overall. The way the colors are mixed up in this is just very, very well thought out, and it's really an awesome design. Especially when I saw it in real life, I was just taken aback by how cool the proportions of the car are, really exaggerated with this kind of color scheme, and of course how much it focuses on Auto Finesse. I mean, they're all about the look of the car, so I think it was a beautiful car of choice for Auto Finesse to choose, and I look forward to seeing this car every time I go back to Goodwood. And of course, now jumping into the interior, you can see that we've got a fully modeled interior over there. We've got a dashboard as well as 3 gauges in the center, very drift car styles. And then we've got this little console over here. It's even got the indicator stalks, and we've got the steering wheel. And if you look in there, you can actually see the bolsters on the seats as well. So it's quite a bit of reflection, but there you can see the bolsters on these kind of very deep looking racing seats, and it's really well modeled. And of course you can see the steering wheel there as well, although I don't see any gauges colored in or anything like that. And of course we've got this really predominant full-on racing cage in the car as well. So it's like a roll cage essentially. And of course we've got a fully stripped out interior in the rear of the car as well. And then it just says Blackfish Design in the rear window as well. There's no defrost or anything like that on the rear window. So overall, an absolutely beautiful design of this car. But before we jump into the next one, I wanted to show you another one, which was the one that I saw at Goodwood the following year. So this car actually had quite an update in terms of visuals, and that was a black and white livery, and I have a model of it here, but this is from Time Micro. So I will be reviewing this model completely in a separate video. As you can see, I don't want to give too much away, but this was the livery that was shown at Goodwood the following year, and it looks very cool. Of course, this is made by Time Micro, so I will do a separate video on this, but I thought I'd show it just so you could see as well. But anyways, let's jump into the next MiniGT. And now continuing, we have number 781. As you can see, this is the same car actually. This is number 99 once again, and it's the same Auto Finesse, except this one is from SEMA 2023. So as you can see, this car has gone through quite a lot of variations in terms of color. The box is pretty much identical to the rest. And of course, everyone knows that the S15 was already a legend in the JDM world, like super lightweight, very well balanced, and it was pretty much like a ready-made drift car. But of course, with Liberty Walk, it's become one of the most iconic demo cars as well that they use. And of course, this car is used in drifting as well, which comes in a few various liveries, and I will dive into those in a future video too. But let's have a look at this Auto Finesse. So this one is a new release that's just come out this year actually, and it's pretty easily available. It's pretty much standard kind of MiniGT prices between 10 and 20 pounds, and it's available from most places currently. The wheels are all very nicely as typical, but let's see what the differences are. So the modeling of the car is completely identical. Of course, it shares the same mold, and as I mentioned before, it's the case with MiniGT. So looking at the overall design, this one is quite a lot more punchy and in your face. We've got this insane pink, like really strong pink, and once again we've got this kind of like greeny, like white, like off-white green sort of color, more like a mint green once again. and it's really very cool. I love the way that they do the liveries on these cars. You can see how punchy they look. It's just they are kind of similar, to be honest. The way the roof is kind of cut off with a color, that's got a similar sort of vibe, but the rest of it not really. But it's very punchy looking. And of course, once again, Auto Finesse on the top, the art of detailing. So that's a common element with both of these cars. That looks really beautiful, but the paint finish in this is kind of different. So you can see that this car's got more of a kind of satin matte finish on this pink. And I suspect that they would do that in real life as well, just so they can kind of show the different kind of car care products that they provide and the kind of finishes that you can achieve with their like waxes and polishes. And I think it's a really good idea to market it like that. Of course, in this one just says Nissan in huge letters, identity once again, some Japanese writing, but unfortunately I don't know what that says, so maybe you can let me know. And one interesting thing is, just on the bonnet there, you can actually see some race car features. So we've got the sign for the extinguisher as well as the power cutoff switch. So that's usually used in racing for marshals and any kind of safety people if the car is in an accident or if it needs to be shut off externally, then they know that's where they can access those. And that's a very cool little element to throw in from the Super Silhouette Racing series. And of course, you've got AirX and it says Team AF, so of course Auto Finesse. And then this time we've got the grille finished off in black, and I really like the vibe of that. It almost looks like really like deep channels cut in there with the color. You can see how much different it looks between these two, and that's very cool because it makes it looks like a separate piece, even though it is actually made of the same piece. And then we've got this little interesting looking like globe style logo over there, and once again these crazy smoked headlights, really dark intake. And then this one says Blackfish, of course the designer or the designers of this car, and once again LBWK Nissan, and of course same style in the front, same grille modeling and intercooler. Then we've got this little logo here, LB and K, and then we've got this kind of stripes getting thicker and thicker as we get into the side fender as well, and that's kind of an interesting look. And then here it kind of fades out into thinner and thinner bands of black. And then once again Auto Finesse, and then that same globe logo. And then we've got a few other logos on the side. Once again the Union Jack. We've got this little triple K logo, SJA Rotiform, LBWK Identity, and some extremely tiny writing just under above the Identity logo, but that is really tiny. It looks like it says do not step. So yes, it looks like someone might have stepped on that side before, so they kind of had to put that on there. And then of course LB once again, and then 99, the number is carried through from the previous car. So there you go. It's kind of different. This one was a lot more like techy, and this one's a lot more classic style. And then even on the door handle, we've got the arrow to show that's where you open the door, and another globe logo. And actually in the other one, I didn't even see this, but you've got this crazy looking air outlet that channels air that goes in through this fender, and then of course it goes up here, and of course with the pressures of the wheel spinning, this just kind of helps to relieve the pressure as well. And I didn't even see that in this. Yeah, of course it's there, but anyways, I skipped past that, but we covered it in this one. Same wheels, once again, the exact same 5 spokes, finished off with this kind of black with a silver polished lip. And then here it says rock, and then heading to the back, we've got this rear mask, this time divided into a little bit more colors. So we've got this pink on the exterior, and this time the black actually continues all the way through the center, and it kind of combines these smoked tail lights into sort of one graphic element. And this one's actually got a number plate as well, so it says Blackfish, and underneath it, it just says Auto Finesse on the number plates, and then LBWK on both sides. I mean, it's pretty much the identical car, and here it says Blackfish in massive letters, whereas on the other one it used to say Auto Finesse. So quite a few updates on this car. And of course we've got the interior, once again same modeling, of course. However, this time the cage is just completely black, so you can't really see too much details, although on the back window we do have a little bit more writing, so Blackfish Design identity, and of course the number 99. And then on this rear deck you've got this LB logo, and it looks really cool because it's got a kind of satin finish, whereas the pink around it has a matte finish, so there's actually a bit of contrast at play between the two. And then of course we've got this rotiform logo on the rear wing as well, which looks very predominant. And another nice cool thing is that it's got the sides of the wing finished off in black, and that just gives it a very unique looking characteristics, especially breaking up this pink area with a black and heading into a little bit of white, back to pink with the black accents this time. So a very wild looking design, and I really like this car actually, it's super cool. And of course now under some more dynamic lighting you can see how punchy these two cars are. I really love the way that they've played with the colors as well as the design for the paint for these cars. I think it really helps to highlight Auto Finesse's ideas about concentrating on the paint and the quality of the way that the car looks. And of course these LB Silvias are kind of synonymous with you know, this old school racing culture, and I really love the heritage that the Super Silhouette design brings back. And of course they're really highly associated with the drifting scene as well, and I really like this combination that they've brought together in these Auto Finesse cars. And of course that wraps up our look at the MiniGT Liberty Walk Super Silhouette Silvia. It's a perfect fusion of this old school race vibes, modern tuning and lifestyle flair from Auto Finesse. So if you're a fan of JDM Legends or bold diecast designs, then these are definitely worth adding to the collection. And of course, if you want to add some drift cars to your collection, in the case of these Super Silhouettes, I will be reviewing some in the future videos. So we have the 2021 Formula Drift, and then we have the 2022 Formula Drift car, and we also have the newly released 2023 Formula Drift car. So I will share the link of that video as well down below. It's not out yet, but it will be in the next month or so. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you guys have had fun, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take it easy guys. Ciao.